Hello, I'm Allan Winkler, a retired history professor at Miami, and I'm delighted to be doing a concert in my study for you. What I'd like to do is to play some of my favorite songs coming out of the folk revival of the 50s and 60s, but also dating back to some earlier things that were important in this whole area. I'd like to start off with a Woody Guthrie song because he was so important. Woody wrote This Land Is Your Land back in 1941 as a kind of protest against Irving Berlin's God Bless America, which he felt was too sappy. And here we go. This land is your land. This land is my land. California to New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water, this land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is mine. From California to New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water, this land was made for you and me. I roamed and I rambled and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of the diamond desert, and all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water, this land was made for you and me. Here's a verse that Woody liked, wasn't commonly sung. Was a great big wall there that tried to stop me. A great big sign said, no trespassing. But on the other side, it didn't say nothing. That's why it was made for you and me. One more chorus. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water, this land was made for you and me. In about 1941, Woody met Pete Seeger for the first time, 7 years his junior, at a benefit concert at the Forest Theater in New York City. And the two of them became fast friends and played together. Pete went on to sing with a group called the Weavers, and they had a whole number of very popular songs, one of which was written by Pete and Lee Hayes, a baritone who was part of the Weavers, and it was called If I Had a Hammer. Pete once said this was a collector's item because only a collector had heard of it. But then in the early 1960s, Peter, Paul, and Mary recorded it on their very first album, and it became a worldwide hit. If I Had a Hammer. all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out war, I'd hammer out love between brothers and my sisters all over this land. If I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out warning, I'd ring out love between brothers and my sisters all over this land. I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing out love between brothers and my sisters all over this land. Well, I've got a hammer and I've got a bell. I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's a hammer of justice, it's a bell of freedom, it's a song about love between brothers and my sisters all over this land. This next song is older. It comes from the Carter family, extraordinarily popular in country music in the 1930s and thereabouts. This is a song that I first heard when I was a Peace Corps volunteer in the 1960s in the Philippines. One of the staff members was named Bill Clifton, and he was a folk singer, and he did a concert for the volunteers in the living room of our boss. I've always loved this song, and oh gosh, about 8 or 10 years ago, when my father was still alive at age 95, I gave a paper at the Cincinnati Literary Club about him, and I started off with this song, and it was kind of like a eulogy, if you will, but he got to hear it. This is called Give Me the Roses, and it's a song that I really love. Wonderful things of folks were said when they have passed away. Roses adorn the narrow bed over the sleeping clay. Give me the roses while I live, trying to cheer me on. Useless are flowers that you give after the soul is gone. Let us not wait to do good deeds till they have passed away. Now is the time to sow good seeds while here on earth they stay. Give me the roses while I live, trying to cheer me on. Useless are flowers that you give after the soul has gone. Kind words are useless when folks lie cold in the narrow bed. Don't wait till death to speak kind words. This next song is another favorite of mine. I haven't performed it very often. It's an old hobo song, and it has been sung by virtually every country and folk singer at some time. Pete Seeger, Arlo Guthrie, Doc Watson, and a whole host of others. It's called the Wabash Cannonball, kind of like other train songs, the Engine 143 or the Orange Blossom Special, but a kind of staple of the country and folk tradition, an older song. From the Atlantic Ocean on the wide Pacific shore, near the Queen of Snow and Mountains to the south of the door. Long and tall and handsome and loved by one and all. She's a modern combination called the Wabash Cannonball. Listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, riding through the woodlands to the hill by the shore. A mighty rush of engines here, the lonesome hobo score, riding through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. The eastern states are dandy, so the western people say. New York to St. Louis and Chicago by the way. The hills of Minnesota where the rippling waters fall. No chances can be taken on the Wabash Cannonball. Listen to the jingle, the rumble and the roar, riding through the woodland to the hill by the shore. A mighty rush of engines here, the lonesome hobo score, riding through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. This next song is more recent. It appeared on the very first Peter, Paul and Mary album, group that was put together and recorded their first album in 1961. And it's a lovely song. It's called 500 Miles. Mary Travers, one of the members of Peter, Paul and Mary, once lived in the same building as Pete Seeger and talked about him as a kind of mentor to her. Noel Paul Stuckey and Peter Yarrow were the other two members, both playing guitars. If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I am gone. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Not a shirt on my back, not a penny to my name. Lord, I can't go back home this away. This away, this away, this away, this away. Lord, I can't go back home this away. If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I am gone. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. This next song was on Joan Baez's first album. She recorded her first album in 1960. Used to play music in Harvard Square, the Club 47, Mount Auburn, just off of Harvard Square. This is an old Carter family song as well, like Give Me the Roses, probably one of their most famous. And I've always loved this song because it was the very first song I ever learned to play on the guitar. I was trying to finger pick at that time before I learned to use a pick um, called Wildwood Flower. I will twine with my needles away the black hair, with the roses so red and the lilies so fair, with the myrtle so green, with its emerald blue, and the pale and eager eyes look so blue. She taught me to love her and called me her flower. With no one to cheer her through life's weary hour. How I long to see her and regret the dark hour that she's gone and neglected her frail wild flower. I will dance, I will sing, my life will be gay. I will charm every heart in its round I sway. Oh, I woke from my dream and all idols were clay. Now a portrait of love that all passed away. In the 1960s, one of the most prominent artists was a young man born in 1941 from Hibbing, Minnesota, named Robert Zimmerman. Took on the name, of course, Bob Dylan when he began to record. In the 60s, he had a whole host of folk songs that really captured the mood of the country, the changes, the turbulence, and everything that was happening. And one of my favorites is a song that really, to my mind, captured the spirit of the times. It's called The Times They Are A-Changing, Bob Dylan. Come gather round people wherever you're wrong, and admit that the waters around you have grown. You better stop swimming or you'll sink like a stone. I'm going to start that one over. Come gather around people wherever you're wrong, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changing. Come senators and fathers, don't raise heed the call. Don't stand in the doorways, don't block up the hall, for he who gets hurt will be he who has sworn. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon change your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are changing. My favorite verse. Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters born beyond your command. The old world is rapidly changing. Please gather the two words and stand for the times they are changing. love the fast beat of that song. Somebody once asked Joan Baez, who is a little older than I am now, if it was hard singing, her voice was changing and she was getting older. And she said, no, the hardest thing is remembering verses these days. And I think that's true for all of us. I want to do another Dylan song now. This one really is my favorite. It's called Don't Think Twice. And it just speaks to difficulties of relationships that we all encounter in different ways. Ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. They don't matter anyhow. Ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. If you don't know by now, when the rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window and I'll be gone. For the reason I travel on, don't think twice, it's alright. Ain't no use in turning on your light, babe. Light, I never know. Ain't no use in turning on your light, babe. On the dark side of the road, wishing there was something you could do or say to try to make me change my mind and stay. We never did too much talking anyway. Don't think twice, it's alright. Ain't no use in calling out my name now, like we never done before. Ain't no use in calling out my name now. I can't hear you anymore. Thinking and wondering all the way down the road. I once loved a woman, a child I'm told. Gave her my heart, but she wanted my soul. Don't think twice, it's alright. Walking down that long, lonesome road, babe, where a mountain can tell. Goodbye is too good a word, babe. So I'll just say fairly well. They say you treated me unkind. You could have done better, but I don't mind. Just kind of wasted my precious time. Don't think twice, it's alright. This next song is by Tom Paxton, a little bit older than Dylan and Peter, Paul, and Mary and Joan Baez. Went to school in Oklahoma, came to New York. Tom Paxton wrote a foreword to my book about Pete Seeger that was very complimentary, and I've always enjoyed his songs. This is actually a very sad song, and once when I was far away for 4 or 5 months, I Used to sing this one to make myself feel a little bit better. It's called The Last Thing on My Mind. It's a lesson too late for the learning, made of sand, made of sand. In the wink of an eye, my soul is turning. In your hand, in your hand. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? Well, I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. That was the last thing on my mind. Without reasons aplenty for gold, this I know, this I know. For the weeds have been steadily grown. Please don't go, please don't go. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? Well, I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. That was the last thing on my mind. As I lie in my bed in the morning, without you, without you. Every song in my breast dies a mourning. Without you, without you. Are you gone away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? Well, I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. That was the last thing on my mind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. This next song may not be strictly folk, but it came out of this whole tradition, and the artists clearly were cognizant of everybody in the folk as well as the rock traditions. Talked about people like Pete Seeger on occasion, Buddy Holly. This was the Beatles. This is one of my favorite Beatles songs. I've seen Paul McCartney perform 3 times in Chicago, in Green Bay, and Detroit. And this one is called Let It Be. When I find myself in time of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Know the broken-hearted people living in the world are free. There will be an answer, let it be. I will see. There will be an answer. Let it be. 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 There will be an answer. Let it be. And though the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. This next one brings us back close to our starting point with Pete Seeger. Pete was asked by his publisher to write a song that they could sell to other artists and make some money. And the publisher said, but I don't want one of those purposeful songs. And Pete was kind of irritated by that. And he said, that's the only kind of song I like to write. But he thought about it, and he actually began reading the Bible. And he found some verses in the book of Ecclesiastes that really struck him. He pulled those out, and he wrote a chorus of 3 words, recorded it, and it was sold to the birds, and it became #1 hit. It was called Turn, Turn, Turn. Beautiful song. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, time to plant, a time to reap, time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, time to dance, a time to mourn, time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time for every purpose under heaven. Time of love, a time of hate, time of war, a time of peace, time that you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time for every purpose under heaven. Time to gain, a time to lose, time to rend, a time to sow, time of love, a time of hate, a time of peace. I swear it's not too late. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time for every purpose under heaven. I'm going to close with 2 more favorite songs. First of these is a song that was sung by the Weavers, 1950, 1951, sung by the great Hughie Ledbetter, who went by the name Leadbelly. Became the #1 song in America, called Good Night, Irene. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dream. Last Saturday night I got married. My wife settled down. Now me and my wife, we are parted. Gonna take another walk downtown. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dream. Sometimes I live in the country. Sometimes I live in town. Sometimes I take a great notion to jump in the river and drown. Of course, Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dream. I used to sing this in the Alzheimer's unit here in Oxford, Ohio. And one of the people there was a woman named Darlene. So I would say, good night, Darlene, and she loved it. Sang it until her death. The last song I want to do is a song that became the anthem, the marching song of the civil rights movement in the 1960s. It was a song that was written about 1900 by an African-American minister named Charles Tindley, called I Will Overcome Someday. It was sung by striking textile workers, black in North Carolina in the 1940s. Was heard by a woman named Zilphia Horton, who was the wife of Miles Horton, who had founded the Highlander Folk School that trained activists, Rosa Parks among them, before she refused to move to the back of the bus in Montgomery, Alabama in 1955. Pete Seeger visited and heard the song from Zilphia, and he loved it, and he rewrote some of the lines and the verses. Ended up teaching it to a young folk singer named Frank Hamilton, and he taught it to a man named Guy Carawan. And Guy was the one who became the music director at the Highlander Folk School and brought civil rights volunteers there to simply have a weekend of singing, invited Pete to come with him. About a couple weeks later, another group of civil rights volunteers came, and that was when the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee was formed. And this was a song that they began to sing at both of those meetings, a song that Pete had really rewritten. And as I say, it became the marching song of the movement, We Shall Overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. For deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. Someday, for deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. For deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Sing the first verse again. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. For deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. Thank you very much for being with me. I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this and really appreciate it. Bye-bye now.